Troy DeSavino is an associate client partner at Group Black. Group Black provides advertising services. Troy earned his master's degree in 2022. He talks about the skills that he developed, like managing his time effectively, communicating with his team members, and more. Hello, Troy. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Happy Friday. Appreciate you having some time for me here today.
It's Happy Friday. I'm glad. I'm so grateful to have you in to interview for this interview. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Could you tell me your journey on how you started from Rutgers to being an associate at Group Black?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually started my Rutgers journey as a transfer student in 2018. I transferred from Seton Hall University after my freshman year. Was looking for a little bit of a different college experience, one that had a bit of a stronger on campus presence. So came over to Rutgers in 2018. Graduated with my bachelor's of communications in 2021, while also getting my master's in communication as well, from the School of Communication Information. Since then, I've gone on. I've worked across financial tech, and now currently working more in the digital ad tech industry. But my career has been very sales focused. I currently work in advertising and marketing, but more so on the creative and ad sales side of the business. But you know, obviously giving a lot of credit to my time at Rutgers, the School of Communication Information, definitely spends a lot of good time and bandwidth and focus on the marketing and advertising side of the business, which was super helpful. It definitely gave me some good insight into what to expect within the industry. That also showed that my interests were something that I was excited for after college. So yeah, I know it was a bit of a normal journey that a lot of people are also going through. I know it's a really popular major, and there's a lot of people who are also enrolled in that 5 year program for their master's degree. But I decided to go more on the sales side of things to get my hands in on the other side of the business compared to the traditional side, which is more so on the media planning and marketing strategy side.
Understood. So you work in media planning and strategy, and you completed your you're working on like towards the salesy side. So it's like, and you got your degree of communications. Then that's pretty cool. I really like your journey. It's like actively working towards and moving forward. I really like it. Could you tell
Yeah,
me some skills you developed along the way that students should like focus on developing right now?
yeah. I think school and college was a great opportunity just to practice how you manage your time. I think obviously homework and writing papers and assignments, the content that you're actually covering is really important. But I think college was a really great opportunity to practice just working, to practice having the ability to complete assignments, to meet expectations, and also to show how you can exceed those expectations. So, while the content was really important, I look back at my time at Rutgers, and while I can't necessarily remember every single paper I wrote or every single assignment I submitted, I can remember how I managed my time and how I had to work across, taking 5 or 6 different classes at a time, um, to manage my workload to make sure that I was able to succeed. So, like I said, while the assignments and the courses within the SCI program were great and memorable at the time, some of the specific assignments that I had worked on don't always come to mind, but I can always think back at how those classes, sharpen my skill set to become, ready to work within corporate America,
Right.
to meet expectations that are set for me, by my managers, by our organization, by the departments. So yeah, it was definitely the biggest takeaway was certainly, understanding the rigor of classes and the rigor of courses that Rutgers does provide, and also being able to understand how you can meet those expectations and then exceed from there as well.
Got it. So it's like consistently delivering on the expectations. And that is, I feel like is that like a part of the skill that you really take forward from college, from your professors to your workplace?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been fortunate to work in an organization where I'm the most junior person on my team. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to start there. So, while I may not have experience, and when I joined in, certainly after 2 years, I'd like to think I have good experience now. But when I joined the organization, I was certainly the most junior. I didn't necessarily have all the industry contacts that I do today. I didn't have necessarily the experience of working on media campaigns, selling through after submitting for RFPs. But what I did have was that ability to understand how to manage my time effectively,
Mm.
understand how to comprehend requests from clients, and then also understanding how to work within an internal team to meet those expectations of both my boss, but also of the clients who are requesting business from us as well. So, yeah, certainly, it was definitely taking away the skill sets that I learned, not so much maybe the material that I learned in my time at Rutgers, but the skill sets that those classes taught me.
Understood. Wow, that's pretty cool. I really like the ethic that you developed.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So in this field, how would you value or like how do you use networking and how do you value it?
Yeah, one of the most important things my job, being a client partner who is responsible for selling media campaigns to brands, whether that be the largest, some of the largest advertisers in the world, it could be Walmart or Meta or Verizon. One of the core pieces of my role is to network and to know the people within those organizations. While I can do a lot of outreach and pitch the overall business objectives of what we're putting forward within our organization, my core responsibility is to develop relationships with the key stakeholders behind each company and each brand that I'm looking to sell our products and sell our media strategies behind. So networking is really really important for my role. I have to understand the who the key stakeholders are, who the media planners, who the media buyers are across some of the top agencies around the country, whether that be like a Publicis or an IPG or Horizon Media or Havas, which by the way have a ton of Rutgers alumni, which has been super helpful. It's always good to reach out to someone if I know that they're a Rutgers graduate. Usually that gets me in the door. But then also continuing to develop a network within those smaller networks of Rutgers students, and reaching out to some of the key stakeholders that they might be connected with. I'm mentioning that I do have that connection with one of their colleagues. So, my role being on the sales side of media strategy and sales is very, very connected to networking within a larger media and marketing community.
Oh, wow. I'm fascinated by like how working with like different corporate companies and how you connect with the media buying people. And I find that really cool because it's like you must be in like consistent conversation about okay, bringing excitement here or bringing a product here. Or could you tell me more about how through the networking piece you consistently maintain excitement or carrying an emotion through a communication?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, within my role, we're responsible for selling a really wide variety of media solutions, whether that be like the spots and the dots and advertisements that users see when they're on a traditional website, the banner ads, the pop-up ads, some more custom stuff, whether that be like podcasting or audio ads that you'd see, or maybe ads that you're seeing while you're like watching a streaming service. But we also are required, and we're responsible for selling custom content campaigns, whether that be like long or short form storytelling across video or custom editorial articles, or with creator campaigns and influencers, or even something that's like fully experiential, maybe selling sponsorships for concerts or music festivals that our team has access to.
Right.
But from there, we obviously have a lot of new stuff coming out very frequently. So having those relationships with the key stakeholders and the media planners and buyers, so that I can go back to them whenever we have a new product or a new opportunity that exists. Just having a foot in the door to be able to get into those conversations and continuously to share when new updates come out.
Right.
Fortunately, Group Black is a Black-owned media collective. A lot of agencies and brands are continuing to see the importance of investing with diverse-owned and Black-owned media. So we have a lot of really strong champions across the industry who understand the importance of what we're trying to do. So more often than not, they're usually willing to take meetings with us to hear what new opportunities we have that exist, as they have larger commitments to continue to spend with Black-owned and diverse-owned media.
Wow. I see. So it's like you have a very diverse team that helps you in like addressing different parts of like storytelling or working with influencers. That's really
Yeah,
cool. I mean, diversity is known to like increase profits and workability throughout an organization. So I want to bring it to like the student side of the conversation where if a student is struggling with their or what advice would you give to a student right now, where in the communications field?
Yeah, I think it's understanding what, exactly where you want to go after, because communications is a great degree, um, because of how many doors it can open. Obviously, there's a million different fields it seems like that you can go into. So I think first and foremost, understanding what do you want to do with that degree? Is it working within marketing? Is it working within advertising? Maybe it's working within like public health or government, or maybe it's working for nonprofit. The good news is I think communications allows you to go into whatever field that you have an interest in. So I think the first thing that you have to do is figure out where do I actually want to go with this, and then doing the homework and understanding what jobs exist out there within that field. What roles am I qualified for? What roles do I aspire to reach? At least that's the path that I chose. I decided I really wanted to break into the media and marketing space. As a student at Rutgers, I wasn't fully familiar with exactly what are the roles that are existing there, and what sides of the business can I be on? Can I be on the media buying and planning side? Can I be on the media sales side, which is ultimately the path I decided to go? But I think it's just fully understanding and doing your homework to figure out what opportunities exist out there for me across different industries. And then within the industries that I do have an interest in, what roles that are actually out there that I could apply for. And then within that, figuring out what organizations are hiring, what companies do I have alignment with, what moral and ethical values those companies hold do I align with, and do I have an interest in aligning with as well. So just doing your homework, treating it like it's an assignment for class, and figuring out what interests me and what could I get excited for.
Understood. I mean, thank you. I mean, that concludes the interview. I really appreciate the insights you've given me, and I mean, I believe all students will love it because it's very insightful. Thank you. Thank you
Of
so much.
course. Yeah, happy to talk.